Welcome back. Here we are again with Premier U Sports, coming back with our weekly roundup for Week 5 for Northwest Premier Junior Football and Cheer. My name is Clarence Presley. To my right is Deshaun Presley, and to my left is Charles Burnham. You guys ready to get started, man?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Let's go ahead and get going with our recap. You know, we had a game of the week, and hey, man, I'm 2 for 2 now. All my game of the weeks seem like they're living up to the bill. You know what I'm saying? We had that Rainier Ravens versus CD Panthers freshman game. You guys tell me what went down. I got to see a little bit of it, but I heard somewhere that it went into 4 overtimes, even though it only should have went 3, according to our rules. But 4 overtimes, but it still ended up in a tie. Tell us about it. Deshaun, you was there.
Yeah. So it was a back and forth battle, man. I think both coaches had their kids ready to go. We had a couple of breakout runs in the beginning, but it was I believe at halftime it was a 6-0 score. Coming into the second half, Rainier, I don't know what happened, man, but their defense just started playing, man. And they were able to actually contain CD's run game. And then it went down to a final score by Rainier, and it was a 6-6 tie. So it was a 6-6 tie at the end of regulation, went into overtime, and I mean it was back and forth just like it was in the beginning of the game. Just kept going back and forth, back and forth. We even to the point where the kids were at the 5-yard line, man, and the defense on both sides was just so stout they both couldn't get in the end zone. So being with that said, they scored 1 time in overtime each team. They couldn't score on the extra point. And it came down to a 12-12 tie at the end of the game. But, I mean, an awesome game by these kids. Being that young, and you could see their competitive nature of wanting to stop each other on the defensive end. It was unbelievable, man. Man, my hat's off to Coach Matt. You know what I mean? To Coach Elmore. I mean, they did their thing. They definitely had their boys ready. And, it was just a great game all the way around. So,
Chuck, can you imagine what the conference playoffs is going to look? They're both in the same conference.
When he called me during the game, during overtime. He called me to make sure he was getting overtime right. And I said, man, I thought we had it right. Honestly, I really did. I thought we had it right. I was on the phone. I was on my rule book on the phone, back and forth with Sean. And then he told me he was going to the 4th overtime. And I was like, okay, it's fine. But on that 4th one, they got to kick. They got to go for 2. And I'm thinking to myself, right after that, I'm like, oh, there should only been 3.
Yeah.
So you coaches know, we made a mistake. Thankfully, the game ended up in a tie.
Right.
But on that 3rd overtime, if someone had scored, they would have had to go for 2 for the win.
Right.
So, and the 2, obviously, in our league is a kick. You have to kick your PAT, which we should all be working on that anyways, because Northwest Premier rules provide freshmen get a free kick at the freshman level. No one can rush the kicker.
Right.
Everybody freezes except for the center, the holder, and the kicker. So you guys might want to start practicing for that, because we're seeing a lot of close games in these conferences. You're in conference now. You're in conference battles, so these games have heavy implications going down the stretch.
Well, I think at that freshman level for the 2, we may have to implement the pass, because I'm not sure we got any kids yet on the freshman level that has the ability to kick the field goal. So they may have to go for a pass play for that 2-point conversion on that freshman level. It's something we can discuss in our board meeting, but doggone it, man. That was a game, and it just got my mind boggled about what is it going to look like right now. They're tied for first. Right? With a tie with each other, and it's going to come down to playoffs for this team, these 2 teams, man. And it was excitement. The little bit I got there, I couldn't find parking. I showed up about 9:20, man, and it was cars and all up and down the street. I said, what in the world is going on this early? And the sidelines were packed to the max.
So you're looking at that possibly being your first week matchup in the playoffs. If the playoffs were to start this weekend, CD and Rainier would have to play again in the first round. Seed number 2 versus seed number 3. So we're gonna see it again. The question is, are we gonna see it in the quarters, or in the semis?
Right. Now both teams still got to play Benson. So Benson has to get through both CD and Rainier. just to even see where they're going to land
Right.
in their seating. So, and I hear that Benson team is a good team as well.
Definitely.
So
Definitely.
it's going to be some interesting things going on. There was another game that wasn't our game of the week, but I heard it turned into a heck of a game.
It was.
I was told that the junior game between SeaTac Sharks and Benson Bruins was a heck of a game.
It was. It definitely was. And it in the beginning of the game, it was almost like the CD game. It was back and forth. Matter of fact, halftime it was 0-0.
Wow.
And so once again, Coach Ron, man, he coaches his kids up. You know, shout out to Coach E. Had his kids coached up. No one could really move the ball. You know what I mean? It was just a back and forth battle. In the second half, there was a breakout score by Papa Afua, which made it a 7-0 score. I think later on into the fourth, I believe, towards the end of the game was the actual last score that put it at a 13-0. But there was 2 touchdowns that were called back on Benson.
Wow.
That was ran by
Really?
Jeremiah Burrows. So
Wait,
yeah,
Jeremiah was up?
yeah.
Oh, okay, I thought he was down.
No,
He's back up.
He's back up and
Wow,
playing.
I just saw him the day before. He told
Yeah.
me he might be down.
No, he was good. So
Okay.
they called back 2 touchdowns on him in the game. So I mean, but it was a battle. It wasn't, the score doesn't reflect, you know, what the battle actually was. So it was definitely one of the games to have been seen and viewed. But like I said, coaches, they had their boys coached up once again.
Now, the thing that gets me is that most people aren't familiar that Benson's team is mostly 5th graders.
Right.
Yeah.
They have some
Right.
6th graders. They're good 6th graders.
Right.
But they're primarily a 5th grade
Yeah,
team.
yeah.
And they're banging with these teams that got a lot of 6th graders.
Yeah.
You know, so that's another
Hats
team to
off
keep
to
an eye on.
Future's looking bright. I can honestly say that going forward, those kids are definitely, you can tell that they have no fear.
And they're
know
well
what I mean?
coached.
Yeah, they're very well coached, but they have no fear. They go into the ball game believing they're going to win every single game, no matter who's in front of them. So can't take nothing away from those
Great
kids.
job.
Great job, you guys. Let's transition, Charles, into going over our top 4 right now in each division, in each conference.
Freshman division, things pretty much stayed the same. You've got in the Green Conference, you've got Puget Sound, 5-star, Beacon Hill, and Tacoma rounding out the top 4. On the gray side, you got Benson, CD, Rainier, and Auburn. Still, as we talked about earlier, you know, you got that tie with the CD and Rainier, so that's really going to tighten things up over there. Sophomore level, we've got Beacon Hill, 5-star, Puget Sound, Tacoma, again, in the top 4.
Actually, it's an adjustment.
Oh, yeah.
There's a tie for 4th place.
Between SWAC and Tacoma.
SWAC and Tacoma. There was a
Correct.
typo on our website, so it's
Yeah.
actually SWAC is 2 and 3, not 1 and 4. So Tacoma and SWAC are tied for 4th place right now.
Thank you. And on the gray side, you got CD, SeaTac, Auburn, and Benson. A 3-way tie at 4-1, which is nice to see on that gray side. So that's going to be a tough battle coming down the stretch. You know, seeing where those seeds shake out at. You won't see a shootout, I don't think, for that last spot. But, you know, we're going to have to see who's going to be the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th seeds in that conference. So that'll be interesting to see coming down the stretch how that shakes out. Juniors, you got 5-star, Beacon Hill, Puget Sound, and White Center in the top 4 on the green side at juniors. On the gray side, you got CD, SeaTac, Lakewood, and Benson rounding out that top 4, and Rainier Ravens on that top for that tied for 4th place with Benson on the junior division. Seniors, we got Puget Sound, Beacon Hill, 5-star, White Center, and I take that back. We got Puget Sound, Beacon Hill, SWAC, and a 4th place tie between 5-star and White Center on the green senior conference. And on the gray senior conference, we got Rainier, CD, and Lakewood in the top 3, followed by SeaTac in 4th place.
All right. There you have it. You guys keep battling. There's a lot of room still. We got a few more weeks as we enter into week 6. So you got 3 more weeks to leverage your position to get you into the playoffs. So keep grinding teams, keep grinding coaches, getting your teams mentally prepared. These last 3 weeks are going to be some tough weeks. I'm looking forward to the gameplay that's going to be on the field.
And just to clarify, I know we had some questions last week during the live broadcast last week asking about home field advantage and things of that nature and tiebreakers. We don't do home field advantage. Postseason are league mandated events, so they all play in league venues. So there's only going to be 2 stadiums running a day per day in the first round. You have 2 stadiums on Saturday, and you have 2 stadiums running on Sunday, and makes it easier for people to get around. We're going to try and keep families together if they got kids at multiple levels that make the postseason play. But you will be. No one gets home field advantage. We've got designated fields, Renton, and a couple other venues, Rainier Beach. So no one's going to get a particular home field advantage.
Unless you got a loud crowd.
Yeah, bring your people. That's how you get a home field advantage.
Right.
Bring your people. The other thing was, again, tiebreakers. They will get settled on the field. This is a league with no coin flips, no point differential. You settled it on the turf.
That's only for the 4th seed. We'll figure it out another. If it's a 2 and a 3, you're going to play each other anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
But 4th seed to get in, we will make sure that you have a tiebreaker game. Right. So really quick, guys, let's go ahead and transition to our All-Star ballots. You guys sent those out.
Yes.
You want to go ahead and let the coaches know what they should be looking to do?
Yeah, so you should have received your All-Star ballot with a sort of a notes and tips on things what we're looking for on that. This is take that back. This is a nominee ballot. So this first ballot that you received, we're asking for you to write in names of kids, players that you feel like are standouts in the Northwest Premier in your particular conference. So those teams in the green conference, you only got the green ballot. Teams in the gray only got the gray ballot. We're asking you to write in players at each position, nominate players at each position, and tell us who you feel are the standouts. We'll take all that information in, and then we'll send out a final ballot with those players on it, and we'll ask the coaches and ADs to vote on those players, and that's how our selection process will end. And I need those ballots back. We need those ballots back before by Sunday, so I can send out the new write-in ballot next week as well after week 6 has been completed.
Yeah, because we got to have them to get our dynamic uniforms ordered. Right. So we're on a time slot. So you guys make sure you get those in and be honest.
Yes.
Don't just pick kids because you like them as people. You know, I get that. We wish everybody can make it, but be honest based on the talent and the competition that you've seen on the field. All right. Thanks, guys. Let's go ahead, you guys, and shift over to our game of the week for week 6. You guys know I'm picking again, and you guys may have some, but this is my pick. I'm looking at the Beacon Hill Lancers senior game. It's going to be played on Sunday at Renton Stadium at 3 p.m.
Yep.
Hey, Kurt, I know you're saying you're ready. Kurt, I know you're like, hey, you got keys to a Ferrari? Hey, man, but Justin, from what I've been hearing, Justin say he got your number. Now, I don't know, Kurt. I'm just saying, man, don't come out there like Crips and Bloods, though. Don't come out there with the red and the blue. Right. Come out there and play the game, settle it on the field. I know there's a lot of relationships between both teams with players who grew up playing together. This should be a heck of a game. Definitely. I'm saying it's going to be a good game. Some people think it's going to be a blowout one way or the other. I think it's going to be a heck of a game. And what's interesting to me, and I'm going to put it out here now, you heard it first right here. I'm telling you right now that these two teams are going to have to see each other twice to get to the championship. Just let that sink in. I know you're thinking it don't matter. I'm telling you. You guys got to see each other twice, so make sure you come prepared to play and leave it all on the gridiron.
I'll be shocked if these two aren't in the conference finals. Just put it that way. I'll be shocked if they don't end up there. And from what I saw, I got a front row seat to Beacon Hill last week. They beat 5-star handily. And to me, Beacon Hill, Puget Sound, whether they like it, I think they're mirror images of each other. Burners love to attack the perimeter. Will occasionally go downfield, but this is going to be who can contain who on the edges, who can be aggressive at the point of attack and keep guys from just running over. Because it was a track meet down the sidelines last week.
Well, I think last week I gave a prediction as far as score, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that one more time this week. So, both teams, both great teams on both sides, have a lot of speed. But for some reason this week, man, I guess I'm kind of favoring, maybe because I got my blue and red on today or something. Maybe that's what it is. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get a favor to, the Lancers. I really do. I feel like they're going to pull this game out. Don't get me wrong. I don't believe it's going to be a blowout. But I'm going to go with the prediction of, I'm going to say 21-13. Wow. I'm going to say they'll edge them out, 21-13.
21-13 by 8, huh?
That's what I'm going with. That's what I'm going with. So
I actually think it's going to be a higher score than that. I think both of these offenses are going to be able to score. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go more in that 28-30 score, and I like Beacon Hill in this one.
Okay.
I'm going down to the line of scrimmage. I'm not picking either one because I'm the commissioner, so I need to stay neutral. Yeah. I just want you guys to play, but I will tell you this. I told you guys before, the Lancers have a bevy of running backs. Yeah. They got some big receivers, but the thickness, man, the power game of Beacon Hill, in their line, I think is going to create a little bit more trouble than Lancers have had to face earlier in the season. Right. It's going to be a matchup on a line of scrimmage. I think that Beacon Hill has speed that people oftentimes overlook, with little Tyrone and Bill in the backfield. Yep. And then you throw Big Josh and the other big running back. Yep. It's going to be pound for pound. I think it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a good fight. It's going to be Canelo Alvarez and Triple G, and you guys just got to bang.
And who can throw the ball? Because Beacon Hill's not afraid to play man free the whole game. Right, they'll just lock up and play man.
That's true.
And if you can throw, if you can beat that one-on-one coverage, you got a shot. Right. So I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, definitely.
And since we're talking about game of the weeks, that is our game of the week for our league. There was a heck of a game on last night.
Yeah, there was.
I don't know if you guys caught the Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes versus the North Dade Bulldogs. North Dade pulled off the upset, drove there on their home field and won 8-6 in the rain. I think their game ended about 10:30 last night. Yeah. Where they do that at? Right. Play Tuesday nights.
Only in Florida, man.
Only in Florida, man. And they said they had 1,500 to 2,000 people there.
Believe it.
So heck of a game. Shout out to all you teams out there in the Southeast, down South California. But we also represent the Northwest. There's going to be another game on Sunday. The Ravens senior team, or Saturday, on Saturday at Ritten Stadium. Rainier Ravens will be hosting Prosser Mustangs from over in Eastern Washington for another 14U game as well. So come out if you can and check that game out as well.
Kamiakin will be back against Benson.
And Kamiakin will be back against Benson. So we love the hookups, and we got Hanford coming over in a couple of weeks to play a team from our side. We'll give you an update on that a little bit later. We'll keep you in the loop on that. Any closing thoughts, guys, before we round this up?
Just for me, man, I'm just loving the excitement of the games, man. I mean, I feel like right now we're right in the thick of it, where it's either make or break for your season. So basically, man, just encouraging you coaches, man, to keep coaching these kids up, man, teaching them these X's and O's and getting them prepared, man, because the playoffs is right around the corner. Yep. You know what I mean? And so just keep doing what you're doing, and I can't wait to see what this playoff matchup looks like.
Piggybacking off of that, it's getting intense. You're absolutely right. Things are, this conference format we built, it only made things tighter. What I'm asking is people just keep their cool, enjoy the game.
Right. Yeah.
Enjoy the game. Think about the kids. Think about how uncomfortable the kids get when things get really tense. I mean, it's already tense for them. We got babies playing in a quadruple OT.
Right.
If you think they didn't feel that pressure, you're lying to yourself.
Yeah.
So the last thing we want to do is add that external pressure to them that's really unneeded and undue.
Right.
Let them play. Let them play the game, because honestly, that pressure that they feel on the field, they're comfortable with that pressure. It's when the outside forces get in the way and ruin the rhythm of the game, and referees and coaches and adults are going back and forth. Let's let the kids play.
Right.
Let them play.
Hey, thank you for saying that, Charles. I'm gonna leave you guys with this. At the end of the day, parents, coaches, it's about the kids. They're the ones playing the game. I understand the passion and the zeal, but make sure we set the example for our kids. You know, I had a conversation before the season started with a buddy of mine, Mike Schwartz out there at Gypsy, and he said something. He said, Clarence, you know, I've seen after championships, parents are angry, they're mad, they're talking about fighting and the referees did this or what they didn't do, but the kids 30 minutes later are playing together. You give them some ice cream, they forget about it. The parents are the ones that hold on to it. The coaches are holding on to it. You guys let it go. It's a game. At the end of the day, you know, we're having fun. The kids are getting an opportunity to play. They're getting a chance to learn. Let's make sure we remember what it's really about. Coach with intensity, you know, coach them up, you know, but also show them an example of what it looks like to be a man or a woman, you know, whether it's cheer or football or parents on the sideline. Because I'm telling you now, from a commissioner standpoint, the more complaints we get, we're dropping with zero tolerance. Folks are going to be suspended. People are going to be probably removed. And that means if we can't get you to contain yourself, players will be removed. We don't want to do that to anybody. But we got to make sure we maintain the integrity of the league and keep the environment safe so these kids can enjoy these moments, because these are the moments that's going to make memories. So I just want to remind you guys of that. Support the kids, you know, cheer them on, and do not cheer when players get hurt. That's not what grown-ups should do. So let's make sure we keep our minds right and remember that we're out here for the kids. And there's a bunch of people that don't want to see us even do this. So let's keep pushing forward, y'all, and raise the bar and show them that we can do it well. We're already changing the game. Let's keep doing it, you guys. Signing off for Premier U Sports, I'm Clarence Presley, Deshaun Presley, Charles Burnham. God bless you.
Thank you.